We're rolling.
Oh, you already opened your beer. We got a third. Here, do it again.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Nerdbuzzed.
Nerdbuzzed doesn't condone the consumption of alcohol by any persons under the age of 21. Please drink responsibly.
Welcome to Nerdbuzzed, the podcast where we talk about all the nerdy stuff that we care about and drink a cool frosty brew while we're doing it. I'm your host, Marcus Ellinger. With me, as always,
Jeremiah Johnson.
And back, confined once again to the nerd camp, to the intern camp, and you'd know why if you watched the last episode.
Me. Just me. If I say me, then you'll know who it is.
Did you just fart?
Oh, you took that pen. I don't have any pens. Oh, I guess I have this pen. Oh, this is mine.
That's right. What? It is. It's literally your pen.
Wow.
Can you still hear yourself?
Yeah.
Do you don't have to swing that over?
Gosh dang it. The day that we did one of the last episodes, I was like, I'm a pizza guy, so, I have to have a pen on me so people can sign stuff.
You're Fry. I've decided you're Fry.
I thought
right?
I lost my
He's
pen.
so Fry.
And for like 3 deliveries, I'm like, let me look for my pen. Instead of saying, I don't have one. Because I kept forgetting to, get it. But it's just been here the whole time. So I'll be taking this back today.
That was awesome, by the way. Yeah. So that was the life cycle of Jack's pen in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Jack.
Once again.
That was a Nerdbuzz bonus.
Yeah.
So,
episode number... No.
yeah, right? Outtakes. So, before we go too far, with too many more ridiculousnesses, we go over to Jay.
For the beer.
Yes, my favorite part.
We are revisiting Balebreaker Brewing.
Yep.
And, deja vu, I swear we did this one already, but apparently we didn't because we still have the beer here. So.
And I didn't drink it. You have to, do you at least notice that when you leave beer in my fridge and then I bring it out on another show? I hope you're at least kind of impressed.
Yes, I am actually.
Yeah.
You did do that one time before, and I gave you crap.
Yeah, well, come on, it's in the beer fridge. What's the name of the fridge?
Yes.
Which is why the beer's in there, but you know what I like to drink, and it's
Yes.
typically beer.
And so we're revisiting Balebreaker. The first time we did it, we did the Top Cutter, which is their traditional IPA. Very Northwest, very hoppy.
Yep.
This is the Bottom Cutter, which has numbers that are more akin to your levels.
My magic skills.
Yeah, 8.2%.
Wow.
So I figured it'd be a good one to come back. If they're...
Hence why I grabbed it out of the beer fridge.
Yes.
I didn't even think about it. I just reached in and pulled this out of there.
It is the Imperial IPA. So 8.2%. Bottom Cutter. I love Balebreaker because they just go to town on the hops. It's one of the most aromatic beers you can find.
Yeah. It does smell good.
Yeah, the second you crack that can, it's just like, whoa, that's hops. And I love hops.
Also, though, is it just me or it's got some malty smell?
Well, it's 8.2%. It better.
It's got malty smell, and just based on my nose and my nose experience from last year with beer, I'm going to say this might taste a little alcoholic. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say it has the aroma of that.
Once again, I'm going to reiterate, it is 8.2%.
Yeah, it should taste like there's some alcohol in there. Yeah.
Baby percentages.
Yeah, right?
Oh my God, we got to get this guy 21. That's the problem right now.
Got two years.
That's going to be a great show, dude. His 21st birthday show.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh my God, that's going to be awesome.
Can we put up with him that long?
Well,
That'll be the real test.
I don't think we're going to put him in very long at all.
My dad has.
There will be this hiatus, right? Yeah.
Starting now. All right,
yeah.
my dad.
Oh, dude, whatever we do, though, we got to do the 21st episode show and then, schedule at, 8 o'clock in the morning the next episode that we have to, record.
To have him back on? Yeah.
That'd be freaking great.
Well, then I'm sleeping on the couch.
I'll change it to hungover camp.
Yeah.
It'll just be Jack like this, just talk. Just talk. Not so loud, but talk.
I bet you he would still be loud.
Yeah. And he would still miss the explosions. Right? He's so bad at the explosions, right? Look, dude, look how bad he is. Oh, we gotta be ready, dude.
All right, fine.
Oh, yeah, nice. He's just gonna be on call all the time now.
All right. I'll play your game.
We'll set that up with Cortana. Cortana explosion!
Didn't do anything.
So, what do you think of it?
It definitely has the malt aroma. The hops are way over the top, which that's just what Bale Breaker does. They were originally a hop farm for their brewing.
So do you think bottom cutter would imply more hops than like is top cutter just like the hops on the top, and bottom cutter is like all the hops, the whole plant, cut it at the base, all the hops.
So when you harvest hops, you cut the top and you cut the bottom of the plant,
Yeah.
and you take the whole vine in, and then the vine gets stripped of all the leaves and hops stuff, and then it goes through a kind of like an air knife, and it kind of separates them apart, and then
You rascal.
the flowers end up going and getting dried and processed, and then everything else gets trashed. So anyway,
Okay. Hence why it's like pot.
it is very much related to that. Yes.
Yes. So, I guess do we go to Jack now?
Yeah, we go to. Jack.
I've just been playing around with this. The last
That's what she
one I
said.
drank. I don't know when the episodes are going to be uploaded. The last one I drank was the
number
premium.
we were calling them out at the
It was
beginning.
the premium.
Yeah, this is 110.
Ginger
This comes
ale.
after
Now this
109.
is the.
Yeah, which was the last one you
What
drank.
is it? Stronger. It's
I
the
do
extra
like how we're
ginger.
paying attention to what Jack's saying over there.
Oh, wow,
I'm just going to
alright.
talk over the top of it.
Well, I can. Now I have the extra ginger ale, much like Jeremiah, totally extra. Y'all teens know what I'm talking about.
Wow.
What is that about? What did he just do?
I don't know. I think he's profiling.
He's profiling?
You guys know what extra means?
No.
Yeah.
It's like those. I'm not even gonna explain it.
Or is it like Plus Ultra? If it's like Plus Ultra, I'll be totally over it.
Plus Ultra.
Yep. Yeah.
Like Plus Ultra. I haven't heard it. This is like something the kids are saying.
It smells.
you know Plus Ultra is.
No. What
Oh,
he
yeah.
said.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know what he said
It
either.
smells more gingery than the last. I don't know.
listening anyway.
The last one was all right. Yeah. So I'm excited to drink it. Hopefully it'll be better.
Does it smell like pee?
No.
Okay, does it smell like toothpaste?
No, it's a
No.
ginger.
That was
ale.
Jack's last year. Toothpaste. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm just curious what this year is. Is it going to be pee smell?
You know, if I really concentrate, I can. Or maybe that was just the accident. I might have not cleaned it up earlier. I'm not
wow.
sure.
Okay. Just keep it off
Hence
the
why
equipment.
he's stuck in the camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
It's going
feel
to be
that
pee
bad.
camp. So let's do it then. To all the nerds.
Through all the fuzz.
Bottoms up.
Let's
Let's get
get
nerd
Nerdbuzzed.
buzz. Thank you. Did it explode? It better
Yep.
have goddamn exploded.
It's a bit
So
better.
you get a really,
That's interesting.
really heavy malt body, but you don't get the malt flavor right away. The hops just come in super juicy, very grassy, almost, for lack of a better word, dank to it.
Yeah. Also
And
like
then-
pot.
It finishes, that's why I put it on there. And finishes with not an overpoweringly bitter because the sweet starts to set in.
Yeah.
But the sweet's not overpowering.
It's interesting. It's
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how to
It's got
describe
flavor
it.
profiles very similar to the top cutter. It's just bigger.
So the bottom cutter is higher percentage and
Yeah, the top cutter's like a 6%.
okay.
This
Yeah,
is the
it's
Imperial.
interesting. It's got a weird kind of middle flavor, like transition that happens on your tongue between the initial flavor and the end of it. I want to say this. We need to drink it. Like,
Yeah.
we need to drink this quick. If this
Oh,
sits
it's-
through the
it's-
episode, it's going to taase like alcohol.
It's a fresh beer, though. It's
Yeah.
the whole idea is about this their beers is to drink them fresh.
Yeah.
So,
So we'll keep drinking it.
of course we will.
What does Jack think? I'm gonna let Jack talk because I hate
does.
to do it, but I have to go.
Oh my god.
Oh, I don't
You
worry.
just
I love
did.
to talk.
I just did.
Oh wait, before you go, look at this is the definition of extra. No, look at this is the definition of extra. Yeah.
Because you can't say it over the air.
Well, I'm not gonna tell Jeremiah. He's just gonna have to figure out because he's so extra. I thought mine was. I thought it was all right. I mean, at first it tasted a little more gingery, and it has a more gingery aftertaste, like in the back of your throat. But it's kind of. It's not that interesting. It's not doing much for me. It's just kind of there. I don't know.
Okay.
It's like they just put a little more.
I'm sorry, right in front of the camera again. I didn't wash my hands by the
Oh,
way.
what?
Oh.
Oh, I don't think he did.
Oh
actually.
jeez.
It's alright. Let's just leave it.
Oh my god, just dropped a bunch of stuff.
Extra.
It's totally Jeremiah. So
But
extra.
that's just it's not, and it's just the definition of extra. Like you said, I thought it was going to be like some trendy new term that the kids were using.
It is a trendy new term. Like,
it
oh
just
my gosh,
means
she's
what
so
it means.
extra.
But it just means what it means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
It just means the exact Webster definition of extra.
Thanks.
It's not
Over
even
the-
It's not even like the
Like really,
Urban
like so
Dictionary
emotional.
version.
Like, oh my god, I'm so extra.
Yeah,
Jeremiah.
I see when he said it. This is how I interpreted it. When he said that you were extra, I thought he was like bonus content, right? Like things, extra is like, but his definition is like excessive, like
Yeah.
not bonus. That was a
Excessive.
dick move.
Yeah, I know. That's what
Yeah.
I figured initially.
Yeah,
Extra, like, oh my god, she's so. You've never heard that before.
no,
You've never
I've never heard that.
Like a teenage girl ever say the word extra.
No.
I guess you guys they didn't go to high school recently, so
yeah, no,
No.
we didn't.
yeah,
We
I
have
kinda
not.
forget about that.
Take your pee phone. Does that smell like pee?
It does now.
No, but as I was saying, my ginger ale is
Well,
still
you're
not
right,
working.
Jeremiah. I just want to announce this in front of everybody. I also think you're extra, but
Well,
like
I-
old
just-
school extra.
Just for the definition, right now I'm 3 extra.
You're 3 extra. Okay, now you're bragging, but
No, that's not a brag.
I'm not even 1 extra.
In 6
so-
months' time, I went from 1 extra to 3 extra.
Wow. Now, see, super bragging. So much
not
extra,
good.
dude.
That's
See, I look
bad.
at extra as a good thing.
No,
extra
it's
is a
not.
bad thing.
It's a bad thing.
He said like plus ultra. Yes.
Extra plus ultra.
No, plus ultra is a good thing.
Plus
That's-
ultra. No, it's like Super Saiyan. They're gonna turn
How many plus
ultra
ultras are you?
extra.
Oh, you don't have 1 plus ultra because plus ultra is not non-definitive.
Oh, it's like
It's as
infinity.
far as it needs to go.
Okay, it's like a cock push-up. 1 is all you need.
Yeah. So it's all right. I'm
Wow!
I'm
Where
not
that
really
came
looking
from, I
forward
have
to
no
drinking
idea.
it. So
It's like with
we'll see.
chickens, like foghorn. What are you guys thinking? Get your minds out of
So,
the gutter, you guys. Gosh.
Don't you remember that?
Playing
Viagra
rhyme.
Yeah.
We're getting through rhyme this
Do you have
month,
one
and
hand
we're
that does
watching
no hands?
Yeah.
anime. I forgot what the anime was called. What's the anime called?
Before we get into any of that,
Trying to
well,
get
let's
let's
off
give a
it.
shout out to ourselves. Follow us on Twitter at Nerdbuzzed. Find us on Facebook. Follow us there. Please do. Leave some comments and stuff. We would totally chat back with you.
Follow us
You
on
can
Instagram,
support us
follow me on
on
Instagram.
Patreon, where you can get some
_Jack
sweet
and
garb.
Yep.
Yep. And all you got to do is subscribe or comment on the show. Whatever your comment is, that's great. We will pick a winner based on the comments, and they get a free T-shirt at the end of the month.
Yep.
Last month was Stupid Mystic Forest Dudes.
Forest dude.
It is kind of hard to say. That's
Stupid
just
Mystic
like
Forest?
anything I want to promote
Stupid
that I'm like a
Mystic
fan
Forest.
of. I have a hard time saying it.
Yeah.
That seems to be what
It's
it
just
is.
you're so excited.
A Seer, and Stupid Mystic Forest.
A seer meadery?
Yeah, I can't say it. I'm not Canadian enough.
Yeah.
Acer? Azure?
But anyway, yeah, go check out Stupid Mystic Forest. We love them. They're great.
Enough.
They have explosions. Their explosion guy is a little better than ours. I'm a little jealous of that.
I don't know about that.
Interestingly enough, though, where Leif Erikson landed was Nova Scotia, so it is Canadian. North
For what
America. Where the Vikings landed,
Yeah.
North America first, was in Canada.
Oh, nice. For a seer. A seer? A seer.
A seer, yeah.
A seer.
Yes, because you said you weren't Canadian enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's-
Canadian. I like it.
Canadians.
Yeah.
Jeremiah tries to put in facts, but we shut him down by being dumb.
What?
I
Okay.
don't, I thought
Anyway.
Extra.
I was like,
Okay.
I was like, okay.
So let's get into the show then. Do all
Yeah.
those things. It really does
move on.
seriously makes a difference to us. Keeps us motivated.
It does.
Keeps us going. Comment. Say something, please. Interact. We will try to interact back. It'll be one of us, not Jack. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
So our nerd play is rhyme. We're
Yep.
going to play rhyme. So we'll keep doing that. Do that with us. Moving on to, we're going to talk about some trailers.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had
There's
some
a
trailers this
lot
past month.
Yes.
Dropped.
I know that you wanted to talk about one. And we
Yes.
had a lot of other crazy nerdy stuff going on. But I want to talk about it with you.
I wanted to talk about the Tomb Raider because we heard me talk about the first one that came out. I was not a fan.
You were not.
I was not a fan of the movie thing that was going on, the way they were doing it.
But as far as our cast goes, you are the fan.
Oh,
Like
totally.
out of the three of us, you love this new Tomb Raider.
Well, the Tomb Raider games, the games.
Yeah.
Yes, the reboot of Tomb Raider. I'm all over those. I
Yeah.
love them. I liked the original Tomb Raider all the way up to 3, which was insanely hard. Anyway, I actually gave up on 3 because it was so freaking hard. Timing's insane. Anyway, besides, not too much of that. But anyway, back to the new movie that they're making of it. The way their first trailer came out, they were just taking so many liberties and changing things that didn't need to be changed. I was just totally against it. And the way they cut that trailer made it even worse. This new trailer, they re-edited the scenes, changed the order in which they was cut. I don't know if the movie's going to follow this order. I hope it does, because it now makes it come up with almost in sequence with the story of the game, the general story of the game. And I'm looking a lot more forward to it. It looks...
Does it follow the... I was curious, because I've played the first Tomb Raider, right? The first of the reboots.
Yeah, which is one that this movie is based off of.
Okay, and I haven't played the second, because my brother still has it, Lucas. But I have dibs, by the way.
And he
next.
said he beat it.
Yeah, we'll see. No, he hasn't, because the final part is to give it back. Then you get your platinum. But I haven't played the second one. I played the first one. I did enjoy it, right? When you watch the trailer as the experienced guy with it, does it scream that first game? Like, is it the same kind of story? I can't remember.
They're taking some of the key main cinematic sequences from...
Like the action ones. That first trailer was all about that.
Yes,
yeah.
and they're sequencing those into it. The story is different.
Okay.
At least from what they're showing of the story, the Trinity, the people she's met, and all this stuff doesn't cover the same. The way that they're tying her father and everything into it is not the same at all. The way they tied the father in the game was through the mentor and captain of the ship. That was basically, like I said, her mentor.
Yeah.
The guy that was kind of her pseudo father because her father was dead, and the guy that raised her. So, that's where the father element came in, and now this father element's like almost back to Cradle of Life Tomb Raider movie. It's like they can't get away from the Angelina Jolie ones.
Those are the best films of all time, though.
Yeah.
Anything with Angelina Jolie. Hey, okay, and so by the way, because this is a new feature and I worked really hard on it, if you're just going to sit there and not say anything, turn it off. Give us one episode where you use the feature that I put time in, right? It hurts.
All right, fine.
If you're just going to sit there, then come on. I made the
but
button work.
Everyone wants
Look
to
how
see
good
my
it works.
Beautiful face.
Look at it. It works
now look
great.
at
It does.
We
They're
just
lost
utilized the
without me.
goddamn button and used the explosion we needed to use it.
We just got an explosion. All right.
I was actually going to say,
if I don't look that way,
Apparently he wasn't. It wasn't a was. It's a gonna.
watching both trailers, I definitely found the second one more interesting and a little more cohesive. And I was like, all right, I guess I cared a little bit more. Like, I wanted to skip it, but then I was like, I guess I'll watch it. But yeah, there was more...
He's super excited, if you can't tell, right?
The plot, I don't know, I felt like there was a little more mystery in it. There was a little more plot, like spiciness. And they spoiled a little bit, or I don't know, or the weird guy that was like, your father left me on the island. I'm like...
Yeah, that's not the way it was in the game at all. That's like just 100% Hollywood Liberty.
No. Yeah, it's weird.
So, yeah.
But I mean, I'm interested in it a little more, but I don't know.
I just found the second trailer far more compelling than the first one to watch
yes.
it.
The first trailer...
I did not want to see it at all, based off the first one.
The first trailer is just like... they're like video game action cutscenes. Was that first trailer?
The first trailer was BVS.
Kind of, yeah.
It was just all action sequences blown together with no content.
Yeah, and it for sure has this air of cheesiness to it.
A little bit.
Yeah. I kind of liked the first trailer, I'm going to be honest with you. I liked that it was action-y. I liked that it seemed very over the top, right? I think the main difference between the first trailer and the second trailer is that it brings in the villain. Because that first trailer didn't really have a villain, as blatant as the second trailer, right? It has what's his name? His name is Walton. No, Matthias Vogel, right?
I don't know.
I can't remember. Walton.
Wait, the
Goggins?
actor or the I can look it up. The actor or the character?
The actor's the guy from Justified. That's what I know him from.
Yeah,
He's the
right,
nemesis
you're
of
looking for the
Holy
character's
Font,
name.
right? Yeah. I think Vogel is the character.
Vogel.
I wrote him down here, but I didn't write which one they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was helpful. I'm glad I brought that up. But for me, that was the big difference. Was that we got to see... The first one was just like, she's going to be in an S-storm, and this is what it's going to be like. It's going to be this crazy sensory overload, was kind of that first... Even the music, right? It's just like intense, and it's like crazy. And then the second one was way more like plot-based.
Yeah, which,
Like-
if you play the game, it follows a plot and a story to it. And the thing about the game is how much it focuses on her, like, just discovering her ability, and B, growing through it. You know,
Do you remember that guy in the game, the villain?
I remember him in there, and I don't remember his name.
Did he kind of look like him at all or anything?
Similar.
His
Similar?
name is Matthias Vogel, and the guy that plays him is Walton Goggins.
Goggins? Yeah, okay.
Goggins, yeah.
Which is he's from Justified, which is an amazing show. You should watch it.
He's
Justified
really
is
good
awesome.
at playing
It's
terrifying
also
people.
cheesy and over the top, but it's great.
I feel bad for saying that, but he's just
Justified.
kind of like a...
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's all
He's just
Justified.
kind of like a scary guy, you know?
Oh, yeah, no, he's a
He uses
creeper.
that to his advantage where it's like, oh god, I'm
He's
terrified
also
of you.
in The Hateful Eight, which I
Yep.
just watched on
that's
Netflix
a
like
good-
a
that's a
week
good one.
ago.
Yeah.
I actually really liked it. I've been turned off by Quentin Tarantino movies. They've felt repetitive, and I'm kind of got sick of them. But I watched this one, and I actually watched it kind of like episodically because it's broken up into the chapters. So I watched
yeah.
like 2 chapters, turned it off, watched 2 chapters, and it took me like 3 days. But I loved it. I actually thought it was really good. It's worth checking out.
I actually went and watched Inglourious Bastards again last week.
Yeah, did you like it?
Oh, I loved it the first time.
I should watch it again because that was one I didn't really care for.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
hilarious.
I
I
like
like
Kill
it.
Bill 1 more than 2.
I like that as a package deal.
Yeah.
That's a great
Definitely
package
as a
deal.
package deal.
I love that they're so different.
Yeah, I guess that is true. But yeah, Inglourious Bastards, I kind of watched. I'm like, okay. I didn't get into Reservoir Dogs. I think I just need to sit down and like just pay attention to it because I think I was like doing homework or something, and I was like, what's happening?
Yeah.
But that's just like, isn't that like his most or no, that Pulp Fiction.
Oh yeah, Pulp Fiction
Pulp
is
Fiction's-
like
yeah.
that's the gateway Tarantino.
Yeah,
I guess
I've never
Reservoir
seen that.
Dogs, but yeah, Pulp Fiction is the one that will suck you in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reservoir Dogs
It's kind of
is
like
first.
Clerks and Mallrats, I think.
Yeah.
At least for my viewing experience, because I watched Pulp Fiction first and then Reservoir Dogs.
It's the same order that I did.
So and that was my Kevin Smith. I watched Mallrats
Mallrats
first,
first.
then Clerks.
Oh, see, I watched Clerks and didn't realize there was anything else for the longest time.
Oh, yeah.
I watched Clerks and just thought this is freaking
Before
amazing.
the internet, we didn't watch anything.
Oh my
What do you
god,
mean there's no
extra.
ice? I gotta drink this coffee hot.
So
I love that
yeah.
line. That's like my favorite line of the team.
so real quick, are you excited to see Tomb Raider?
Ooh, I mean, I'll watch it, but it's like I've never.
This is going to be the first great video game movie.
I don't think it's personally. I don't think it's gonna be great.
No, based off the previews,
It
don't
looks-
think it's
I
going
don't
to
know.
but I think it's be better.
Even the
It
fans.
looks kind of bland. I mean, it doesn't look.
I'm kind of in that same boat.
I
Guys.
feel like I'm just gonna kind of watch it and be like, eh. I think Jeremiah will probably.
We
get-
have to go see it.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Yeah.
It's like asking a Ratchet and Clank fan to watch the movie. It's like they're not gonna enjoy it at all. But as a Ratchet and Clank fan, I would enjoy it more, and I did more than like most people. But that's because it panders to me.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so it might pander to Jeremiah, but to everyone else, it's gonna be like, what? I don't get it.
I think that's a good word for what's wrong with video game movies. They're pandering,
Yeah.
right?
Pandering
like
to
whether
the
they're
specific
pandering to
audience.
the people, the movie theater audience, and not the fan enough,
Which is
Yeah.
what I
or
think they
vice
do.
versa.
I think that's what they do though. More is they try to pander to the general audience than the actual people who are invested in the story.
Yeah,
Well, the thing is, like
agree.
most video game movies are made by Uwe Bole, and he's just a terrible director. So I think he actually a lot of the stigma is because of Uwe Bole.
It's
So
his
if you're
fault.
listening, I hate you. And
Wow.
I hope you never make
I guess
movies
so.
again because you
Okay.
suck.
more than
Yeah.
Michael Bay or less than Michael Bay?
More
More than Michael Bay. Wow.
I don't
okay,
dislike
that's saying
Michael Bay.
something.
because if
Michael
if
Bay
Uwe
makes
Boll-
a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah,
I
you
just
know what
that
you're
I
going to
don't
go.
care for them.
It's going to be big robots and big explosions.
Uwe Boll is
Maybe
ruining.
aliens.
He ruined the reputation of video game movies.
Can I? You want to know what I think of this Tomb Raider? What I came away from watching the Tomb Raider trailer was, I think we always compare Tomb Raider with Uncharted, right? And they come up commonly in conversation together, especially with this revamped Tomb Raider, right? I kind of feel like Uncharted has kind of fallen to the wayside a little bit with their last version. Number 4.
Uh,
I don't know about the Tomb Raider because I haven't played the second one yet, but my brother really liked it. I know you really liked it. And now that they're going more like cinematic with a movie, I'm wondering how much more this is going to make it like Tomb Raider. I mean, Uncharted now. Like,
I think
Tomb Raider is veering more
no,
towards
I think
Uncharted
this is the
now.
decline of Tomb Raider.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah,
You don't think that could help it out?
I remember playing this last one and thinking that this is freaking an awesome game, and having played the Uncharted's and seeing how they progress, I think the next one's going to be a great game, but I don't think it's going to be anything that's going to outdo itself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
This is the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
So you
Yeah.
think the
That's
movie
unfortunate.
is going to be responsible for?
No, I don't
bringing-
think. No, I'm,
Oh.
that was my thoughts just playing the game.
Oh, just enjoy.
I
okay.
love the game. Don't get me wrong; it was amazing. I think the Uncharted people have a much better storytelling premise.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant by
Yeah.
the movie. Like, will this movie give Tomb Raider its chance to take more of an Uncharted approach to the game?
Oh, just telling
right,
more
because
story.
it's going to be more cinematic, and it's going to, but it'll still have all those pinnacle moments like the game had, right?
Whoa,
that
the
sucked you in that
plane
way.
explode.
But
Yeah, I don't know.
because Uncharted's very cinematic, right? And it's very scripted, and it's very, which is awesome. It's one of the things I love
Yeah.
about it. But Tomb Raider's doesn't have that grabbing quality to it.
I think Tomb Raider, you play the story more than you watch it. Where
Yeah.
Uncharted, you get to see the story a lot more.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking
Yeah.
about it from that angle. I was like, is this going to be Tomb Raider's Uncharted moment? This movie, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want an Uncharted movie, but I'm actually a little more okay with a Tomb Raider movie. Like, does
Really?
that make
Okay.
sense? Because of that.
See,
Like,
I would have thought that the Uncharted movie would have made a better movie.
see, but I'm a little leery of that because that's more what the game is, right? Like, I don't want him to
Yeah.
like,
But we've already established that I'm okay with telling the same story.
yeah, right. And I want the movie to be. Video game movies are really tough, and I've always said just don't do it. Like, that's the answer to the problem, is just quit doing it. Let one medium be one thing and let the movie be another, because a lot of time they try to like recreate what the game is in the movie, and I think it takes away from the movie experience that it could be, and it kind of tarnishes the video game experience.
Yeah.
And-
And I think what we've discussed too before is, I think a great solution to what you're saying there would be like what Star Wars is doing with the in-between movies now.
Yeah.
You know, so we're getting the Solo story, we're getting the Rogue One stories, we're getting that kind of stuff filling in, and that's all stuff that was referenced in the source material, and they're not moving the main story. This is just another thing we're selling off to the side. So take something where, you know, she opens her journal and says, "Oh, look, I was doing this at such and such time at blah 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 blah. I remember when that happened." You know, so when you make a movie, tell the movie about that story.
Yeah, I totally prefer that approach than
That's
trying to
actually really smart.
regurgitate a game. Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah, and that would probably, I don't know, that could get more. I don't know. I feel like that could just benefit it a lot more.
Yeah. Well, and I think it ruins it if you like go watch a movie and then you come home and play a game based on that movie. It's like, I already know everything that's going to happen, right? Like
Except for-
it
okay.
takes away from it.
So just do spoilers ruin a movie for you? Do spoilers ruin a game for you?
It depends.
Yeah,
I think it
that's a good
totally can
question,
depend.
actually.
Right?
See, 99.9% of the time, spoiler doesn't bother me.
It depends on what the spoiler
Last
is.
of Us,
There
though.
are the
Yeah, like that would ruin that game. a
That
little
yeah,
bit.
that
The
could
Last of
totally
Us,
ruin the game.
It would ruin the emotional impact. Like, to this day on this cast, I refuse to say what happens in the end of Last of
that's
Us.
very true.
Because I think you have to play it to experience that moment. I think it's a reason to play that game, and that
Yeah.
game's amazing because of everything that happens. But it's the growth you do with that character through the game, and then that end result that makes it so impactful.
I think talking about trailers, I think it's a good segue to that. Last of Us trailer, freaking amazing.
Oh yeah,
Both
that
of
looks
them.
intense.
It's I didn't think they could top the first story, and I think they might, just based on the trailers that you've seen with how intense it is. Because what made that story so great was how emotionally trapped you got in the damn game.
Yeah,
I mean, you were like, oh my god, you were on your edge of your seat multiple times throughout that game, especially at the end.
yeah. That game is a good example of what I think Uncharted and Tomb Raider are trying to hit. Like,
Yes, well, I think that
Last
game
of Us is
the
the
reason.
sweet spot.
I think the reason that Uncharted is going downhill is because of Last of Us.
Yeah, no, I totally
I
agree.
mean, they're putting all of their creative budget. You know, how house or their creative currency into that.
Yeah, and just burn out. Or were you talking about, like, kind of they're getting burned out, too?
Oh, I'm sure they're getting burned out on telling the same story, but I love the characters of the Uncharted. I think the Uncharted characters they can do so much with them still.
Yeah.
But,
I'm curious about the Tomb Raider. I'm going into it
Telltale game.
optimistic, I kind of think.
yeah.
I don't have quite the game tie to it, so I think I might be a little more forgiving. But I'm actually excited to go see it with you, so we can come back and have the different exposure experience. That'd be interesting. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to talk about Ant-Man and Wasp?
Sure.
Is that the trailer we got?
Yeah.
We can hit on we can hit on the next couple pretty quick. My real quick takeaways. You want me to go first?
Yeah.
From the Ant-Man and Wasp, the biggest thing, I like that they immediately acknowledged that Civil War happened. Like, that's brought up in there, and we're dealing with the aftermath. I love that Marvel does that, and that it's
They've done
totally...
that through the whole thing.
I know, I'm just reiterating that that's one of the reasons why they're awesome.
They even do it to their TV shows.
Right? Yeah. Like, but I just think that's awesome. It's so cool that each movie never alienates you from the experience in the moment, but it gives you all these reasons to explore everything they've done beforehand.
Yeah.
Which is really cool because it's all there to go and explore. So I love, and they acknowledge it in the trailer. I think it's great. There's references to Civil War. I'm really excited to see Hope and see her in her Wasp suit because Ant-Man is so bumbling, right? He's not good at it. He doesn't know what to do. Like in the trailer, there's when she shrinks the car and goes under the other one and then just expands to flip the car out of the way.
Yeah.
When she has her, like, shrinks and runs down the knife and has her cool Matrix-y moments. It's like, she's going to utilize the powers awesome.
Yes.
Where the Ant-Man guy, his was all by luck, pretty much, that he just happened to get out of there. By the skin of his teeth, always, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
If Ant-Man's so bumbling, why don't they call him B-Man?
Oh, that was bad. Even for Nerdbuzzed standards, that was bad.
I'm pretty proud.
Make your image go away now.
Oh, okay.
So that's... But really, that is like one of the main things I'm excited for. I want to see somebody use the Ant-Man powers and like be good at it, right? Just be this like ninja badass with her abilities. So I think that's cool.
No, I totally agree.
And even in the trailer,
the building
when
was
he
funny.
comments on that, like she has wings and blasters. He's like, you didn't have that tech when you made the suit for me. He's like, oh yeah, I did. But it's like, yeah, I didn't give them to you because you're a bumbling fool.
Exactly.
You're never going to use them right?
Yeah.
Like, let's walk before we run, right? Like, I like that kind of happened in there. The building was ridiculous. Yeah. Tell me that he doesn't pull the handle and the wheels out on that thing and wheel it, and then he gets there and makes it
chairs.
big. Everything is just chaos in that building.
If there were
right?
people in there, dead.
Well, or the other giveaway to Ant-Man's like secret hideout is everything's bolted down. Right? Oh. Everything's glued and bolted down, so when he shrinks it, it doesn't get disturbed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think everybody else sit down and be like, am I in Ant-Man's hideout?
What I thought immediately, the image that popped in my head when that happened was the Monty Python and the Meaning of Life, the beginning of it with the ship,
It's been so long.
Oh,
the building, the pirate ship.
Yeah,
building.
with all the
all the office
in
workers, all the old office workers rebel.
That was
and
fun.
I don't remember. I'm gonna have to watch him again. I had somebody else bring up a Python reference, and I was like, it's been so long. Like, it's been so long for me since I had roommates.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is like a Monty Python classic. If you have roommates, you have to
Drink too much and remember half of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what happened every time. I get them all jumbled in my brain. So I don't know. I'm kind of excited for it. I'm curious. It looks a little campy and goofy. The first one was anyway.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm curious to see what's going to happen.
I just wonder how long they can kind of keep the gimmick going of like, oh, we shrink stuff and make it bigger.
Yeah.
Like,
it's Honey, I Shrunk the
Will it
Kids.
get boring? Personally, I like how they're using it more in this one. I like the Pez dispenser. I was like, all right, this is funny. I guess.
It's like he can pull out a lint ball from his belly button and fling it and make it bigger.
I want them to get.
He totally could.
Right? Like anything can be that way.
To get really creative like that, that would be a lot more interesting rather than just, I don't know, regular stuff.
Just flicking boogers and making them bigger.
That's disgusting.
Right? Just like anything now.
I'm
it'd be
pretty excited.
The equivalent of webbing him to a wall, but he's not.
Yeah, right. But just like it'd be funny, right? Why not?
That's gross.
Why not?
Yeah.
Let's forget we said that.
I'm curious about that. Do we want to talk about Black Panther because it's next week?
Sure.
Let's do it. What do you guys think? Are you excited?
A little bit.
I like that he's using the button now.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Is he using all the buttons?
Oh my god, I had to look. All right.
That was a bad one. We got to do that again.
Okay, it didn't feel right, did it?
No. There we go.
That's a little better. We're still off a little bit. We'll get it. Watch the elbow.
you know-
I hear that's the key. Watch the elbow.
Really? Watch the other
Don't do it
Yeah.
again.
yeah.
Stop.
Anyway, but,
Stop it.
you know what I think we need to do though? You know, with like pilots and stuff, they have the knee board, and that's where all their notes and everything are done.
Yeah.
Why don't we get them one of those little compact gaming style keyboards? This only got like.
He doesn't have enough stuff, dude.
No, but-
He gets all the cool toys. Where does he get these wonderful toys?
No, but what I'm saying is get one of those, this little deal, and just have it strapped to his leg, and it's got all the hotkeys on it right there.
Okay, you look into that.
All right.
You look
Yeah,
into that.
I don't know if
And
I'm.
tell everybody what you think of Black Panther because
We're
I
waiting
hate
for
to
you.
say it, but I have
So Black Panther
Again?
I know,
first
right?
appeared
Wow. It was like
Just
20.
finish your beer
in
and then get rid of it
Fantastic
all in one
Four,
shot.
All right, I'm
number 52. Fantastic Four, number 52.
Okay.
2 numbers. That was in 1966. He was
Wow.
by Jack Kirby. So he basically lives in this fictional African city
Wakanda.
state called Wakanda. It's really small. It's been off the map for a really long time. It's everything is really futuristic. And I watched this. I remember this animated mini series on. I think it wasn't a Netflix original, but I saw it on Netflix and it was really good. And it was about how he became Black Panther. It's every year there's a competition for who is the best warrior.
Oh, so it's a gladiator type series.
Yeah,
Gladiator war.
without killing. They don't kill each other.
Okay, so
Yeah, but it's
it's American Gladiator.
No, isn't that the mark? No, they're fighting each other. They're not jumping. Oh my god.
Dude, that ball gun was brutal.
Wait, do they fight each other in American Gladiator? I thought that was the one where they're running around. On
It is. They're running, and then the final sequence, they have to have this. It's basically like a paintball course, and this got the gladiator up there with the tennis ball gun.
Oh, I didn't know that. Maybe I'll have to watch it now. The point is, it's trial by combat, and then whoever wins is the new Black Panther. And remember, it was a really good. It was
That would
a really
explain
good
why there's multiple
series.
suits and what's going on.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not too sure about the history. Other than that, I
This is ridiculous, by the way.
I kind of like them.
Is it just so birds don't die?
I don't know if it's that. It's just they're really solid. And
It's
they're easy
excessive.
but they're really easy to get hold of and carry,
That's true.
especially with the e-scooter.
Oh, yeah.
But also, I guess he was married to Storm, and they were a pretty good team.
Wow.
And
That's
then
why
I
she
guess
was
they
black and,
eventually divorced. I'm just reading through the
She was
Wikipedia,
always
but
black.
his abilities are genius level intellect, skilled hunter and tracker, expert martial artist, specifically hand to hand. But they also use their really high tech weapons that are made of vibranium. And one
Claw
of the
to
points
claw.
of that movie,
yeah.
the miniseries, is that everyone was trying to take their vibranium, which for the plebeians out there is what Captain America's shield is made of. And
For the what?
Wow, dude,
What did he say?
So
Plebeians, it's
condescending.
What is the plebeian?
filthy, normies.
What is plebeian? Filthy normies? Oh, is this
said
a
it.
new
He said
a new
it. I'm
term?
gonna-
I think Jack's a little extra.
Is someone
this
shadow
episode.
playing
Yeah,
this?
Very-
Okay. Enhanced senses, because everyone has that in superheroes stuff.
Like a panther, though.
Alchemical precognition and protection against mystical attacks, but there's not really much mystic stuff other than Doctor Strange. But yeah, I guess around that time, that's when a lot of African American superheroes came out, like Luke Cage,
Okay.
Falcon,
Yeah.
John
I
Stewart
kind of
as
assumed
Green
as much,
Lantern.
yeah.
I think was John Stewart the second? Yeah,
I think he was.
yeah.
I never followed Green Lanterns, so
I kind of like John Stewart more. He was more. The other guy, who was the guy before him? I forget his name.
Hal Jordan.
Hal Jordan, yes.
No,
To me, isn't that right?
It wasn't Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan was after. God, who's the first?
He's
Spider-Man?
after John
Yeah,
Stewart. So it was.
First.
I like John Stewart because he was more angsty.
Green Lantern. Let's
Yeah.
see. First Green Lantern was Alan Scott, the
Alan-
train
Alan
guy. He was
Scott.
he was all about trains or something dumb.
Yeah.
But
Are you done telling us
I
about
was going
Black
to say
Panther?
Black Panther predated the movement. I think the movement was actually based around it, or
Before the Black Panther movement. Because I've always
Yeah.
thought that's kind of a weird name to name
Yeah,
them.
Black
Yeah.
Panther's name predates the October 1966 founding of the Black Panther Party by 4 months or something. And it doesn't say much about it. I thought I
I
heard
wonder if something was going around
that
the
it was
rumor mill,
based on it because
and they
I think,
jumped on it first.
I think Black Panther was the first African American mainstream superhero. So it was sort of
Yeah.
Because I don't really know what that
Crazy.
part was about.
I never knew a whole lot about, as far as like comics go, I never knew a lot about Black Panther, but he was always, he was in a lot of Spider-Man comics. And when I was
Okay.
younger, like Spider-Man was my go-to, right? And, the third son of Goku, by the way. And, I saw him, he was like constantly in a lot of stuff. And he had kind of I had one where it was Spider-Man, him, and, Kraven the Hunter. And that was it was a cool episode
that'd
because
be
they
cool.
used their
Yeah.
like, they all have like this,
The
basically
hunting
like a
abilities,
spider
yeah.
sense or like heightened smells and stuff. So they were all using those abilities against each other. It was kind of this like battle royale type thing. And then of course Black Panther and Spider-Man are working together. But it was a pretty cool comic. It was one that
Nice.
like I think I have it in my comic boxes. There's no cover on it anymore. Like it's just ruined because I read it so many times.
Yeah.
But I always liked him as that cameo character, but I never had a comic with just him. So
Nice.
this will be my really the movie will be my first exposure of solo Black Panther. But as far as what we have seen him in movies, he was one of my favorite characters in Civil War.
Yeah.
I loved how cat-like he was. It was so cool when he would jump around and
Man,
slide down something and let off and then just hit the ground and not even make a sound, right? And then be there to attack someone. Like he was so like a cat. It was really cool. I really enjoyed it.
Like kind of like Batman, but like a cat instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
wonder
even
if
like
he
Iron Man's
doesn't
always
utilize
like
stealth
every
as
time
much.
he comes in, he's got like his jets and makes
yeah.
a dent, clank, right? Like that's Iron Man. And even Captain America's a little bit clunky. Like the other heroes are kind of that clunky, but Black Panther was just so quiet and stealthy.
Smooth
and
and
everything. It was
cat,
cool. I was like, he's so like a cat. I loved it. I thought he was done really, really well. So I'm kind of excited to see. I'm curious to see
Danny
if
Phantom was a
was that
joke.
super appealing in Civil War because there were just these moments of it. Like it wasn't too much of it, and I'm hoping that having the movie be nothing about that won't take away from those like impactful moments when it happened in Civil War. But also at the same time, I hope they don't take that away. Like I'm wondering if that won't be as emphasized, right? Because because the whole movie is about him. He won't have those key moments to really emphasize that he is this unique character because he's in the whole movie. So maybe he won't be quite as cat-like. I kind of hope not. That's one of my big concerns.
Jack, you're the Black Panther expert here.
Apparently.
Yes, I mean, I actually did.
Wow.
I really like that mini.
So I'm not going to ask my question now.
What? What?
Now you have to because I'm on edge.
Yeah.
Let me move up.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. He doesn't have any special powers other than the suit.
No. I think.
I thought you just said he had like heightened senses.
Yeah, but that's what like everyone has. That doesn't mean like Batman.
Like he just trained for them. It's not like he's not like Wolverine like smell ability.
Yeah, no, it's like Batman.
That's what I was wondering.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what I was wondering.
Because
So
they're
he-
just
so he
regular
is the-
people. It's just they have really crazy technology and they train all the time.
Okay.
All right. That's all I wanted
Yeah.
to
They're
know.
like a warrior tribe, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
I knew
But
that.
yeah.
Okay, now make your picture go away again.
Into the void with me,
I have all the power.
Luke.
The only other thing that I've heard is that they've done a pre-screening, like for other movie makers and production company. They've already seen it, right?
Yeah.
The response is overwhelmingly positive,
Which they say every time.
right? A lot of times they do, and the emphasized point that a lot of them seem to be making is that this is so the movie that we needed for a time right now. This
Oh,
is
really?
so
Okay.
appropriate for the time that we're in right now, and I think that's awesome, and I love that a superhero movie can deliver a message like that, right? But maybe it's kind of like the video game movies where I think when that can be overemphasized sometimes, it makes me a little bit leery because I don't want it to just take away from the nerd factor.
Yeah,
right?
you lose the point of the source material. It just becomes
Which is kind of
a vessel.
But again, I mean, he was in the comics to make a point to begin with, right? His character was created for that, and I totally get that. I think it's awesome, and I don't want to take away from that part of it. But at the same time, I want the superhero movies to stay true to the nerds, right? And have things in there to keep other people coming along, but I want the nerds to come first, and I just don't want it to be too altered to like send a message. Does that make sense? I'm all for
Yeah, no,
delivering a
no,
message, but I don't want it to be too heavy.
No, I get what you mean. That's how American Gods was for me. It wasn't like it just changed too much from the book, and it tried to make it all about like political and stuff. And I'm like, okay, all right, I don't care. I just want to watch the book.
Yeah. Well, I think the other problem with with a superhero movie, like emphasizing that it's delivering a message, is that people go to watch it with that intention. And I think it can take away from that playful nerdiness of it's just a superhero movie. Just have fun, right? Like, just have fun with it. Don't read too much into it. So that's really my only concern that I've had based on the comments people have said. I think it's great, and I think if they pull off the message they're trying to deliver in it while still making it this great nerdy superhero movie, win-win, right? Like, totally on board with it. I just don't want it to take away from it. That's my only real kind of apprehension I have about it. Because people, that was the response everybody had to say about it. But we'll see. I'm so curious. I'm still going to go see it for sure.
Let's find out.
We're going to review it next episode. So
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that. So should we get away from movies?
Alrighty.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, are you okay with that, Jack? Make yourself go away again.
Yeah, oh, okay. Away from movies.
He just can't help it, can he?
We need the override button. Okay,
look
the
at me,
new
guys.
plan,
Look at me,
Jack
look at me.
doesn't get the thigh pad, we get the thigh pad.
There you go.
Okay.
What do you...
Keyboard.
Yeah, the knee board. I like it. That implies it has to take up both. Like a full knee board? Or just
No,
like
no.
a knee board?
Like a
Not
skateboard
knee
or
board.
something?
Pilot gets a knee board, and it's just it's his check notes with for the flight. So
Like a football, like a quarterback with his flap?
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's just like that.
It's like a thigh flap.
Yeah, but it's something that he can quickly reference while he's flying.
Okay.
What's going on? 'Cause each airplane has different startup
He's
procedures.
basically the quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
you got
Calling
it.
out
Okay.
plays.
Yeah.
So let's talk real quick about Red Dead, because this is like, is there a game that we are anticipating more in 2018 than Red Dead 2?
I
Right
can
now.
think of one.
Oh my God! Shut up. Make yourself go
Go
away.
I was like, get it out of the way now. Is what I was going to say.
Red Dead 2 has been delayed, and
Yeah,
it's
but it's to the end of the year.
yeah. Well, it's October 26th, which, as far as I'm concerned, my classic Grand Theft Auto 3 memory is a buddy of mine brought it over to play at my house, and I remember being able to like run people over and like just steal a car and like shoot the person and get back. And I was like, you could never do what? I can just do this now and like in third person and like 3D and like this is crazy that I get away with this. And I'll never forget that it was on Halloween, so it was at the end of October, and a little kid came to the door and I was giving him candy and he saw the game we were playing through the door and he's like, oh yeah, my mommy just bought me that game. And I was like, your mom sucks, right? Like, you have the worst mom in the world. Like,
best
she's
mom.
great, but your mom sucks. She just doesn't care. That was before you had to like show ID for like a mature rated game. Like, you just used to be able to go in and get any game you wanted. It didn't matter, right? It was like finding a little kid in the red room at the video store, right? It was like, get out of there. My mom said it's fine. You know, it's like, I don't know. But so for me, Rockstar games always scream October. And I've always felt that way about them. And there's so many years in between them. I can't remember when 4 and 5 came out, but I want to say they kind of circle around that time of year.
I'll find
Jack's
out.
going to look it up. Nice job, Jack. But how do you guys feel about the delay?
I'm okay with it, especially with their reasoning behind it is they needed to polish it.
Yeah.
They cleanly stated, hey, we need to polish the game some more.
So, my only concern... Oh, lay it on us.
Oh, GTA 5 was November 18th, and GTA
October.
4 was...
Fall.
Close.
April...
Whoa.
Or,
Wow.
wait, so, yeah, it was the 29th of April on consoles, and on PC it was December 2nd. So, you're...
The second wave was kind of around that era.
Yeah.
Or that time. So this is my only concern. My super concern with Red Dead, I've already said it multiple times,
Is the pay factor?
is I don't think you'll have to pay. I think it would be very encouraged that the game will be a bitch that you have to play every single day to make enough money to buy anything, so it might turn into that. I think it'll be worse than GTA 5, for sure. But GTA 5 has had a long promised and now has been denied a single-player update, right? For anything.
Really?
And it was talked about for years that it was going to come out. They really just started dumping money into their online. They've made millions upon millions of dollars worth of shark cards for people to. So they were suddenly blown away that people cared that much about GTA still, right? So they just kept doing online stuff.
Yeah.
Basically, GTA 5 online is GTA 6. I don't care what anybody says. That's basically what online is. You can do so many more things in the online than you can on the single player. I'm I'm curious about that with the Red Dead. If this is strictly a delay for the single player game, then I think spot on. It needs to come out and run, because I think that the online probably won't come out for like a month, maybe even more than that, after the single player's out anyway, right? Like that'll be something that it'll be there, but it won't be unlocked till it's been polished, right? And that'll forever be updated. So that doesn't ever need a delay, because it's going to be in perpetual delay, right? It's just the way an online game works. My only fear with this is, will they polish it and get it right, and then release it, and that'll be it? Like, they won't touch it again. We won't get any more content for the single player at all. If that's the case, great. I'm always the advocate for a game being delayed anyway. Like, make it good. Like, that's fine. Just as long as when it comes out it's good, right? Then the delay was worth it. But I'm wondering how much of a sign this is, that when the single player comes out, it needs to be polished and be done, because then we're just going to move on to online.
I'm probably strangely okay with that, actually.
Yeah.
Because I think the single player is where I've played Red Dead more than anything else.
Also, we won't have to play GTA Tuesday every goddamn Tuesday, Walter.
Red Dead Tuesday.
Yeah, every Red Dead Tuesday.
I don't know. I think that the solo play is my escape in video games.
Yeah.
Is that game, and that's like one of the things I would put in. I would put in just to go play in the Wild West world.
Yeah, and especially because it's like you're a lone ranger, you know, you want to feel like I'm the big dog, right?
No, I mean I'm just a part of this world more than anything.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even go. I'd go play and not even kill anything.
Just walk in the sunset. You're the sunset guy.
I am the sunset
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'd go
Mountain
ride from one end of the map to the
Ridge,
other.
yeah.
And then, okay, yes, I was a sucker for riding up the hill and doing.
I'm glad that you did that in the way that I imagined you always doing it.
Oh no, dude, you totally. It's like, oh, dude, it's the evening time's coming up. I gotta beeline it for the hill, and you do it, and then you just hit it right at the sunline. You just got the horse, and just the perfect little trot. Takes a few times of faster, slower, faster.
Yeah.
Get it to like, just at this perfect pace, but it's just at this just perfect, just lope walk. And you just slowly pan the camera around, so you get this desert cliffside scene with the sunset in the background and the river in the distance.
No, I don't know if that's the right one.
Yeah.
No, I think I understand, because I think for GTA it makes a lot of sense, because GTA is just crazy at heart, but for Red Dead it's like you want to be immersed in this world, and it's hard to be immersed, and there's like a million cowboys running around just like...
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly
weird.
what I'm getting at right there. Is the single player just be part of this world? And
well, there's so much more solo time anyway in Red Dead, right? Like in GTA, from point A, all these games are about going from point A to B, doing something, getting back to point A, right? Like that's what you do in all these games. But in Red Dead, in GTA, it's get from point A to point B, chaos ensues the whole way. Get from B to A, chaos, right? Yeah. In Red Dead, it's kind of get from A to B, and now you're like Wild West solo journey. You might have like a broken down wagon where you shoot down some people and save the day on the way there, but it's not this S storm the whole way, right? And then you get there, S storm, you figure out what you're gonna do, and you make your way back. Like it is way more of a solo journey like that.
Yes.
Yeah, you and the elements. And it's awesome, which I totally agree. That's one of my favorite things about Red Dead. Yeah,
and like I said, it's not many games. I don't play them like you do. It's like, I want to be a ninja today. I want to be a knight today.
That's how I play all my games.
I know, but like, I don't do that for most games. But that was the one game that it was like, I'm going to go be part of the Old West.
Yeah.
And I think the feel that they had in that game nailed it. I mean, it was just, you were immersed in this Old West world.
Yeah. Very like the good, the bad, and the ugly style, right?
Yeah,
Where it's just
exactly.
like such long moments of nothing, but so much. Like in that nothing, there so much is being said, which I totally love that about Red Dead. That is what made that game so great.
And what we saw from the previews, it looked like they're emphasizing a lot of that.
Yeah,
a lot of the secluded wilderness side of it with just a solo player.
Yeah,
and I hope they stick with that. And
I hope it's successful too.
I don't doubt it at all.
It's going to be hands down successful, even if it tanks. It's going to be hands down successful because it's going to it's going to sell out on opening.
Well, and I've heard that that's a big deal as far as them changing that release date, because now that it's been moved to October 26th, it's kind of being pushed into that realm of the like pre-Christmas buy. Like everybody's going to get that game for Christmas, and there's other big games. Like that's what every game does, right?
Yeah.
A lot of big titles are like make it around Christmas time, so people go nuts for it. And there's some concern from the other developers that like, great, now what do we do?
Yeah.
Nobody's going to care about our game. They're just going to get Red Dead, right? Which, that's what I'm going to do.
That's what I'm going to do,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, it's like, yes, Rockstar doesn't make a crappy game. If there's one game company that for how many years now? 15 years? Something ridiculous has yet to really release a game that was a total turd.
Yeah, no, I
They
can't
just
think of one.
don't do that. And props to them.
Yeah, total
Yeah.
props. Yeah.
Yeah.
Considering how, like, ambitious their games are, too.
Yeah.
Like, even a lot of people say GTA 4 is the worst one, but there's still so much fun to be had in it.
It's
Yeah.
definitely GTA 4 for me is definitely that, like, kind of like a DLC content game where it's
But
like
kind of a step back from what you
it
were already doing in
was.
San Andreas.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. It's kind of they reverted back to that Grand Theft Auto 3 for the next system kind of thing, right?
Mhm.
And then they kind of built it up again with the GTA 5. I feel like it was like DLC content. It's kind of how it
Yeah,
felt.
that makes
right?
sense, yeah.
Yeah. But still, it's like I don't know if there's a game that is more true to itself and more every little nook and cranny in that game is another way of paying tribute to itself than GTA 5.
Oh,
You watch
yeah.
something on TV, you drive down the road and see a poster on a building, you watch you watch the commercials, listen to the commercials,
In the radio.
like
it's
like
hilarious.
all of that stuff. You can find references to that all over the world. And if you play the single player and then play the online, there are references to like the aftermath of that single player experience. Like
Yep.
it's so in love with itself and embellishes what it is that it's just that's one of the biggest compliments I can give to GTA. It does that so well, and
Yeah.
I think Red Dead is just going to do the same thing. There's no way that Rockstar is so self-aware, and
Yeah.
they're aware of what people care about in their games, that all those things will be in there, and we're going to love it. I don't doubt it at all. If we don't, it'll be the biggest shock. It'll be the biggest rant cast in the world.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly.
I will be quiet for the whole thing. I'll just be laughing.
You won't have to rant, Jack, because we
Yeah.
will do all of it
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, I was just thinking though with the online being the whole massive chaos thing. Just
Yeah.
make that the other side of the river. Make that Mexico.
Yeah, right, there you go. Right, that's online. Yeah,
Yeah.
It'll be like, what is it? Is it the Division? The Division has areas that are that way. You like
okay.
play normal, and then you can go into like the black zone or the whatever zone
Oh,
where it's
okay.
like everything. It's craziness there, and you're gonna die. That's basically what happens.
Okay.
that could be online, right?
All right, there you go.
You're
Yeah.
welcome to Mexico. It'd be
That's
funny if
smart.
online, welcome to Mexico.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think bottom line, we're all okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
As-
I don't
as
really
long
care.
as
It
they're
could come out
getting
in
it better.
2019.
We could do the Dakotas and have it be Canada.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that works, right?
No, Canada's,
No, it gets
there's not enough
easier.
craziness.
Yeah.
Canada's the other end. Mexico, you go too far south, Mexico, it becomes crazy and super hard. And then you go into Canada for like easy mode.
There you go.
All the horses have square legs.
I was just thinking that.
But again, like I was saying, it could come out in 2019.
Do you
And
know how hard
if
it
it
is to
did,
get a
I don't
call
care.
into Mexico or to Canada?
You get a what?
To get a phone call into Canada? It only opens once a week.
Yeah, right? And you got to be on top of it because they only have like 3 days in their week up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We love you, Canada. We
Yes,
love
we
you.
do.
Please keep watching. So, do we want to touch real quick on the last thing I have here?
Sure.
Netflix doing a collab because we're such big fans of Devilman. If you listen to the last show, they're doing a collab with Production IG, and I believe that Studio Bones is a sub company of that.
Okay.
And so Production IG has done animes that we absolutely love.
Yep.
They do Neo Genesis, Blood the Last Vampire is one I like,
Nice.
Ghost in the Shell. But the one they're going to be doing is the FLCL.
Oh,
2
Fooly Cooly
seasons.
too, huh?
Yeah. So we'll
Alright.
see if that turns out.
How do you
and
do a
this,
2 on that one, though?
I don't know either. I'm kind of curious.
okay.
I hope it's just like this whole new thing, so that it doesn't taint what I love. Right?
Yeah.
That'll be the big thing.
It's got to be just this weird weird, overly paced rant of just over the top visuals.
How did it even end? I totally forgot how it ended.
What? Swinging something.
Did everyone die or something?
I already have to pee again.
Oh my god, really?
I
Right?
pee this whole time. I'm just holding it in because I'm a big boy.
You can just make
Wow.
yourself go away and go. You can go away twice.
Nah, I can never go away.
I can't do, but I can do
I'm like
this
a
move. Look
tumor.
at this is my new favorite move.
No, we can still see you, and that mic's not even
Stage
on.
left.
Oh,
They can't see me.
oh, I see. Okay.
out stage left.
Well, now that I'm talking, I don't. Yeah,
Yes,
I don't,
you are good at talking.
I
Do
don't
some
know.
more, please.
I wonder how much
Be extra.
Netflix will have their hands in the anime. That's what I'm kind of concerned about.
And what do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, like,
And did you find out how the voice acting, the English translation stuff goes? Like who's
didn't
doing
say
it?
anything. I looked it up. There's nothing on it. They probably just outsource or something.
Yeah, but to where? Somebody had to do it.
I mean, I guess I could look up where. How would I even find that?
Yeah, I mean, like, I was just curious, and like, I'll have to check couple of the Netflix animes and see who did it.
Get English.
Welcome back.
Right? It's kind of creepy.
Whoa.
I like it.
Oh, I was also gonna say in the Japanese Devilman, the Ryo or whatever would talk in English, and it was the worst. Like, for no reason, he would just start talking in English,
Okay.
and he had there's the weirdest sounding accent, and B, like, it's like they just gave a Japanese guy like, all right, this is how you pronounce the words, say them, and he's like, and he just said them with like all the emotion wrong, all the tension was totally ruined. It's because
That's how English and Japanese is always
Well, and this
done.
that was in
No,
the
but it's
70s.
like as if he
This is
didn't-
the original Devilman we're talking
no,
about?
no. I'm talking about New Devilman.
The new Devilman.
In the Japanese dub, he'll just randomly start talking in English, Ryu, and it's like he doesn't know English at all, and like they're just giving him. It's one thing to be like an English guy reading the things, but like not getting the right, or I don't know, not getting the tone right or whatever. But it's another to just like give him how the words pronounce in Japanese and just have an English guy read Japanese. Like it's completely different, and it sounded terrible. I'll try and. No, I couldn't find any, but
We're still ranting about Devilman.
yeah.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
Because
So-
he wants me to find the where they got their voice act or where their voice
Oh, yeah,
actors,
yeah.
like, I
From the
can't
last
find it,
cast.
Yeah.
He's still looking. He's been looking for a week.
Oh, wait.
So,
Human crybaby.
so this is what I want. Like, my main thing about the anime stuff on Netflix is Fooly Cooly, 2
Yep.
seasons, which is maybe great. If not, if it's a big departure, I don't care anyway. I don't have to watch it, right? If it's
Yeah.
a continuation, it needs to be good. My Hero is a big one for me.
That scares me.
Is it? But I kind of think what's happening though is like Netflix is going through a big transition, especially with Marvel and DC and Disney
Yeah.
kind of cutting their ties with them. And
They're
now that
starting their own casting service.
they're starting their own one, they're taking all of their movies off of Netflix at the end. I think 2019 is when that'll start.
Yeah.
So anything that comes out in 2018, they will get. Like, I think you can still watch them in 2019, but anything that comes in the theaters in 2019 will not be on Netflix ever, right? Unless they sign some billion-dollar deal. Money talks, right?
Exactly.
But it's like they have that going on, plus they have Disney now buying Fox. So anything Fox that Netflix might have had is now out the window too, right? It's like Disney's raking in stuff. They're just buying up stuff, right? I think this is kind of a little bit of Netflix sort of having that mentality also. And they've noticed the increasing appeal to their audience with this anime. They're like, buy it up, man. Buy up these companies. I don't think they're buying them up, but they're giving them money, which I hope.
Yeah.
It never talked about, in the article I was reading about this deal, what it will actually mean for us, the viewers, right?
Okay.
Netflix basically called it a win-win-win. It's like for our subscribers, for the production companies, and for fans of anime, right? Which to me all means money, money, money. Is basically what they're saying.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see. I don't know, to see what happens with it all. No commercials, big. That's awesome. If
Yeah.
I can watch My Hero and either do the Japanese and the English on Netflix with no commercials, I'm all over it. That's an anime. I've already watched it twice. I'm on my third time watching that one. That's one of the, it's just on my list that when I don't have something to watch and I just kind of want background because I've seen it enough, I just put it on. I love that show so much. So for me, My Hero being on there, as long as they're just funding its production and I just get more My Hero, I'm all over it. Like, that's awesome for me. If they're taking it over and they're going to Netflix it and make it their own thing, I'm not as cool with that.
Okay.
So it kind of depends on what their role in it all is, but I think their role is just to foot the bill and get exclusive stuff to it, right? It's not like they're taking over production of it. They're just funding production.
All right. Well, I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Right? Like, that's fine. Yeah, please give My Hero more money. I want more My Hero.
Well, and I said you said you'd watched a documentary or an interview at least with some of the people that did it and how invested they are with their characters. Mm-hmm. That's pretty awesome. As long as we don't lose that, I think it'll go great.
Oh yeah, like the interview was really cool. It was like the different artists and the voice actors and everybody in it is just like, we are such big fans of our own show. We do not want to release crap, which I think is why you don't get a lot of Bulma episodes, for lack of a better word. There really aren't. No, there just isn't a lot of filler. Things happen so quickly in My Hero, and it's all relevant, which is one of the biggest things.
Is My Hero based on a manga first?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
So is it following the manga story directly? So we have to wait for the manga to come out, and then they're doing it, or are they just?
I don't know.
The characters and they're doing their own
thing? I think it's kind of like One Punch Man, where it's been out long enough to where I think eventually it would be like Game of Thrones, right? Like eventually it's going to catch up.
Yeah.
If it keeps, especially if Netflix backs it, and suddenly now they have all this production where I can make 2 episodes instead of 1 to what I could do 1 before, right? Yeah. It will eventually catch up. That scares me a little bit. I hadn't really thought about that, but I don't know. I have a lot of confidence in My Hero. It does so much right, and while it does so much right, it includes things that I don't like about other animes, but it does them well
in a way that you like.
Yeah. So I give it so much props. Right now, My Hero can't do any wrong for me. Like whatever it wants to do is great because
to be clear, it hasn't done any wrong.
Yeah, right. It can't do, and it hasn't done. I have full confidence in My Hero. That would be the worst case scenario. Like Jack Concern over there.
What
if Netflix ruins this? I will be so pissed at Netflix.
Oh yeah, no.
Mm-hmm. Right? My Hero cannot be ruined.
It's an excellent show. Yeah, I would be really, really disappointed and like really sad. From what I saw a Forbes article on like why Netflix doing all these animes might not be a good thing. It said mainly because when you release them all at once, the viewer retention rate isn't as high. Which I'm like, what? That doesn't.
Which when Hulu does theirs, you get them like weekly.
Yeah.
They give you a new. It's like a regular TV show.
I would rather just watch. Like me personally, I just want to watch everything at once. I don't want to have to wait really. Because
I've even been that way with like comic books lately, where certain story arcs I just won't read it for like a month. And I'll have like 5 issues stacked up, and then I'll binge read them, and it's way better than if I have to wait because some of them only come out once a month, right? And I got to wait a month between every. It's like I forget what happened.
Yeah.
Because I'm reading. 10 comics in between.
Also, there was concerns over pirating, I guess. I guess it makes it, people want to pirate it more if it's all at once.
I can see that. Know. It's one
but
file instead of...
In the end, I don't see how that negatively affects us because I haven't really heard of that being like a really big problem. I mean, it's a problem for Game of Thrones, but that's not on Netflix, that's HBO. So, yeah, personally, I think it's... I like the idea of it all coming out at once. It just... And it didn't say Netflix had their hands in it, really. It's just I'm afraid of, like, what's happened to some of their other animes. Because it seems like Netflix doesn't really make good animes. Anime? I don't know.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Is there anime that's being made already? Or it's mangas and stuff and it's properties that are out there that are... being pushed into stuff that might be available in Japan, and what Netflix is doing is bringing it to the U.S. Because what we're getting here is the stuff that Funimation or other production companies, like Crunchyroll is now a major production company for it, have decided that, hey, this is what we want, this is what we want to see, this is what I think the American audience is going to like. Because in Japan it's a huge thing, it's a major industry, there's just tons of it out there. There's no way we're getting anywhere close to 100% of it.
Yeah.
And so, I think what Netflix is doing is being like, hey, no, there's all this out there too. And yeah, we're getting a lot of turds, but there might be a couple of gems in there. And there have been a couple of gems. There was that one with the with the humans that were living in the robot world. I can't remember what that one was, and they had to.
Did we watch it?
I don't know if we watched it.
You watched it.
I might have watched it with my roommates, but
It's animated.
Yeah, it's anime, and it had the city was a never expanding city that. Had,
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was called, but that was a really good one. I liked it. I
From
liked
what
it a
I've
lot.
heard, actually, they just put like the manga and like the OG stuff was way better, like way considerably better, and they kind of got a lot of it wrong. But I think maybe it's like a Death Note thing where it's like as a new fan, you're like, oh, cool, so. And then it gets you into it, and then you hate it
because
later.
you had that experience kind of
Yeah.
with it when you were like, watch the anime. If you loved at all that Netflix Death Note,
need to watch it still.
watch the anime. That anime,
Yeah,
it's so everything that you kind of liked or that kind of pushed the Netflix one, million times better in the anime.
yes.
Wonder
That's
if
what
the
makes the
point of
anime good.
Netflix where it introduces everyone else to it, but then I don't know, probably not.
Well, and I'm
overthinking
actually
it.
more okay with them just funding it then. Like, if
Yeah.
you just want to put money to the companies that know what they're doing and they're not going to crank out a turd, but now they have the money to make it a little easier for them, do
Hell
it.
yeah.
And Netflix gets
Yeah.
it exclusive. There's no commercials. I have Netflix. Win, win, win. I agree. Right?
Yeah.
Like, that is the best way to approach it. And let the people that know what they're doing do what they're doing.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if, like I said, though, Netflix is not buying them cheap though, and just putting them out there because they can.
Maybe.
You know.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with the massive amounts of quantity of stuff. So I have to filter through some trash.
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah.
know, but that's fine.
Well, and Netflix is not as, again, the no commercials makes it so much easier.
Oh, yeah.
If you have you tried to filter through trash on Crunchyroll
Oh.
or on Hulu?
Okay,
F that, dude.
I watch like 3 shows a year on Crunchyroll,
Yeah.
and I canceled my Crunchyroll membership once, and now brought it right back again because it's worth paying it for the 3 times that I watch
Yeah.
it a year.
Have you created new email accounts yet, just so you get another free trial?
No, I haven't
Yeah.
done that. I haven't done that. I'm not
Oh,
doing
that's
that.
smart.
That's shady. Is that extra?
No, that's
That's
HBO.
extra.
Yeah. Is that the definition of new extra?
Yep.
Yep,
Yeah.
okay.
Making you know accounts for Crunchyroll.
But no, like I said, I pay for it even though I don't watch it that often because the shows I watch they all like come out around the same time.
Yeah.
Their seasons are falling at around the same time. So I watch all 3 shows, and now I gotta wait. And there's a ton of stuff that I'm sure I could find that I like, but I don't want to dig.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
For me, that in Crunchyroll, especially, I mean, it's all anime on Crunchyroll, right?
no. They got the Korean drama.
Yeah, I was gonna say Korean dramas too, but even
Which
still,
some of those are hilarious.
I haven't watched any of those, and big reason why is because I don't want to sit through the same ad 5 times in a row to get there.
I pay for it.
Yeah,
I pay
that's where I'm. There's not enough that. Maybe I guess I should do the free month trial before I judge anything. I should do that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Shame on me, really.
Yeah.
Just it's free.
It's
Do
no
it.
difference. It's just you get all the ones with the little crown. You get to see now. And there's no commercial.
Well, and there's no ad. That's the biggest drawback to Crunchyroll, though, is
Yeah.
the ads.
Well,
it's
yeah, but
worse than Hulu.
That's why I paid for it, was to get rid of the ads.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. 'Cause I think they're intentionally unbearable.
Can I make a quick side note?
No.
Netflix. I watched episode 1 last night. There's this new show called Altered Carbon. Have you guys heard about it?
I've heard about it. I have not seen it.
It's trippy and weird, and I kind of like it. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Wait,
I've only seen 1 episode.
I've
It's
heard
got the guy
nothing
from The
but good
Killing
things about it so far. So
and
Carbon.
from Suicide Squad. The guy that was
Oh.
like
It is.
the military that ran the
Yeah,
Suicide Squad. He's first time I saw him was in The Killing.
Yeah.
And he totally plays this like badass kind of Bruce Willis-y kind of character in it, which I'm a sucker for. But I really actually like it right away. It's got some. It's very like.
Oh, it just looks like a ripoff of Blade Runner.
It's very Blade Runner meets like so many of those other cliche things, but they're all kind of mishmashed together. It involves a world where so it's in the future. When you die, your consciousness is always stored in this like chip that they put in the back of your neck, and so you have to like. The main guy commits all these crimes and has to be put on ice for so many years, right? And then he gets rebooted into another body and he comes back again. And so you experience him on the next body and like several, but that's the guy, right? And so you get all these flashbacks. It doesn't even look like him because it's a different body. And he's supposed to like solve the murder of this beyond rich guy that's like pretty much paid for him to be where he is. And he says, you can either come with me and do whatever you want forever. if you solve my murder, because now he's back in a new body too. He's like, I want to know who's out to get me.
That's
Figure that out, or do whatever you want. And at first, the guy's just like, this is weird. You know, I'm just fed up with everything. I'm gonna party as hard as I can. It's got some Devilman boob stuff in it a little bit. But then he ends up kind of coming around and wanting to like solve the crime. So it's like this it's very kind of Blade Runner. It deals with like floaty cars and all that kind of stuff. But it's got some great, like even as far as the floating cars go, it's got some great like comedy stuff that kind of went in there too. It's pretty good.
Everything that I've heard about it, people love it. So
yeah, it's really pretty interesting. The budget's pretty good. I think worth checking out. Netflix has got some kind of big stuff on the horizon. There's potential here.
I've liked Netflix's live action far more than I have liked their anime.
Yeah. I think, well, and this is promising for that, maybe. We'll see, right? Like, let somebody deal with it that knows what they're doing.
You know what else is on Netflix, which is amazing?
Lay it on me.
The Ranch.
No, dude, it's not good.
All right. So, yeah,
not
I would
good.
give my ginger ale.
That is not condoned by Nerdbuzzed.
I know. I love the reaction.
We're gonna start a new cast. It's gonna be called the Ranch Cast, and I think we should all watch it, and we can just totally talk smack about the ranch.
All right. But that
We'll
means
Trevor
we
on
have to
with
watch
us.
it.
Yeah.
Actually, Eli would be the better one for
Okay,
Ranch.
well, if Eli come on, it'll be the Ranch Cast.
Yeah.
So, speaking of Netflix and animes, segue. Watch Fate. What was it called? Fate.
Apocalypse.
/ something.
No, Apocrypha.
Apocrypha?
Apocrypha?
Weird anime
Oh, okay.
words.
I thought
Whatever.
It was Apocalypse.
Yeah, I thought it was too at first, but it's not because I triple checked it when I typed it out.
Okay.
Yeah, and it kept telling me that's not a word, and I was like, I know, it's Japanese, but or whatever. So it's the Netflix original Fate one. All the rest are on there too, so you can watch them all. But we've seen them all. We're gonna keep watching that one.
Not all of them. You can't watch the original, can you?
I watched it. Maybe I watched it on Hulu, but we did watch it. We watched all three.
The original?
Isn't there 3 of them? There's like the original one.
There's Fate Stay Night, or the
Fate Zero.
There's Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works.
Which one was the one with the like big muscle bound rider?
That
was Zero?
That was Zero.
That's my
Okay.
favorite. That's my favorite. Because of
Fate Stay Night Unlimited, Fate Kaleid Liner Prisma. I don't know what that is.
Oh yeah, there was a bunch of weird other stuff in there.
One
That's
just called Carnival Phantasm
only
because I
Japan
looked
got
at
it.
Fate,
Yeah,
Fate
anyway.
Zero, Fate / Extra Last Encore, and then Fate Apocalypse.
We're gonna have to move the camera over for him so he looks at it a little more.
No.
Maybe it's good. I mean, people want to see his face, but not that much.
Yeah.
All right, make it go away. Nice. Is he paying attention?
Fate Type Moon?
No, not at all. Oh my
I'm
god.
paying attention to this. Fate Type Moon?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's 3
There's
of them
a lot.
on there, I think. Is that what it was?
There's 3 main anime.
Yeah. But they're worth checking out.
Or
I
series,
really
I should
enjoyed
say.
them. I already forgot. Zero, Stay Night. What was the one I super liked?
Zero was the one that you
Yeah.
loved.
I actually
But
really loved it.
That's the first one you watched. So that was your...
Maybe that's part of it. But Ryder is such a big part of that for me.
I do like the writer.
I love Ryder in that, and I love the guy. So the way it works is every so many years there's this big war. And it's like you bring back from history famous warriors, right? That their spirits get to live again on Earth to fight this war. And it's not like it's
the big
armies.
thing about them, though, is they all have something that they didn't achieve.
Yes.
There's something
right?
about it that happened so when they didn't achieve.
Because they're all fighting for the Grail. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Right? And so when they get that, they get the thing they've been longing for forever. So it's like these unsatisfied spirits from like epic wars throughout time, right? And so each one comes along and they all have their own little personality and their own motivations to check their list, right? And in that one, the Zero with Ryder, he kind of did it. What was his checklist? To dominate the world?
Yeah.
Kind of, right? And he just didn't fully dominate it, but he was so like, he just came in with such energy of just like, I don't see why it matters. I can just kill anybody and I'm going to do whatever I can do because I'm the ultimate warrior.
Yeah.
And he was so
Wait, that's the
oblivious to everything.
protagonist of the show?
Yeah.
He's one of them. He's my favorite from
That
that
sounds
one.
I
awesome.
do like how
Okay.
he identified the one character, just totally chewed her out though.
Which one?
The
Saber?
The Saber, yeah.
Yeah. And she's good too. And that's where that was also a cool twist with the King Arthur, but it was a chick,
Yeah.
right? Like that was a cool.
Which,
a
if
cool
you
twist
watch
on it.
this Apocrypha, they totally run with that theme far too hard.
Yes, they do. It seems a little from the
At
little
least-
bit I've seen. It seems
At least
cliche.
spoiler. Joan of Arc is a woman.
Yeah, yeah. I would assume, right? Yeah, I've seen Bill and Ted. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's this cool
With
premise.
Socrates?
Yeah, yeah. With Socrates. Yeah. All dust in the wind, dude. Iron Maiden, excellent. That's one of my favorites. Put them in the Iron Maiden. I boned that guy in the head. He's a total bonehead. Yeah, there's so many great lines from Bill and Ted. That's a retro. Mark that on your list. That's a retro watch with Jack.
I've seen the first one. I don't think I saw the second one.
What? That one's great too. Where they play Death. What?
No, I haven't seen that one.
You haven't seen the one where they play Death?
Oh my
They
god.
play as in they play him for the fool.
They have to play games with Death.
Oh,
He's
that's
like,
pretty fun.
I will win everything. You pick the game. So they play Battleship, Twister. They're all Bill and Ted games.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, no, it's awesome.
Okay, that's pretty.
That's a pretty solid sequel, I have to say. As far as sequels go, that's great.
They didn't.
They didn't have to achieve much.
No,
Is that what
they
you're
didn't
gonna
have
say?
to
Yeah,
achieve
yeah.
much.
The bar was never set too
No.
high, but it's great. It's great. That goes on our retro view list, along with Die Hard. You have
Yeah.
to watch Die Hard.
right.
He's excited. Jack feels like we feel most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We love it, Jack. Make it go away now.
I'm already gone.
So, watch Fate, and now we get to talk about the beer. Should I do it again?
Yeah.
Beer wrap up.
Dude, retro and a half, man.
Nice. I
I
like it.
like it. Wicca wicca.
Yeah, right. Wicca.
There is a little bit.
Just because they can't see you, Jack, we still can. Just so you know.
There is a little bit of the alcohol flavor.
Yes, more than a
Um,
little.
It's actually not bad. It really isn't. It's not.
It's not as bad as I thought it would be, but it's not.
balanced with the rest of the beer.
It's
for being
drink
what
it
it
cold.
is.
I'm still gonna say drink it cold.
Yeah.
Drink it.
It's very easily drinkable still. Where it's at. Where it's at right now, it's really easy to drink. It's
That Melvin Brewing the 2x4 or whatever
was
we had,
awful.
that was bad. That was like, do I have a wound I need
high.
to disinfect? What's going on
I'm
with
drinking a
this? Yeah.
highly alcoholic beer.
Yes. This is not bad like that at all. It's a little bit in there. This is the issue with it where I would almost rather have a little bit of that alcohol flavor than have it be overly sweet. Right? Because I almost think
Yeah.
that would be the trade-off. It's like either you're going to have some alcohol flavor or we're going to mask that with super sweet. And I'd almost rather have a little bit of alcohol. It's lighter that way.
There's a way you can process the grains to get it higher. Is it dextrin or dextrose? I can't remember which one it is, but one of them is unfermentable, non-fermentable.
Yeah.
It doesn't contribute to the sweetness, but it makes a heavier mouthfeel.
Yeah.
It doesn't translate to sweet on your tongue. But if you the other one's just unfermented sugars. Well, I guess next one, actually the dextrin and dextrose is still an unfermented sugar, but it's one that's doesn't register on the tongue as sweet.
Yeah.
So there's a way to run the grains, get it to that level where you get those. So yes, you can have a heavier mouthfeel, which will balance out the other stuff. But yeah, I see what you're saying though with the.
I think it's done pretty well. I think,
No,
like
I
you're
think it's a
saying,
great
it
job.
is balanced. It's pretty well, especially for the numbers it's got.
Yes.
Yeah. I think if I had to put a number on it, I think it's solid. Okay, a little less than solid, but I'm gonna say 7. I'm gonna go 7.25.
75.
Yeah.
I'm going to solid 8. I like
Okay,
it.
solid, nice, solid. I'm glad I
It's
didn't say that for
solid
nothing.
8 because it's great.
Solid.
How was your ginger ale, Jack?
Eight's
Lay it
great.
on us.
It said.
Let's wrap this up. We've been here all day.
It said it was extra ginger. It was a little extra, but it still didn't feel bold. I wanted
hope that
whoa,
was on
ginger. So
Maybe that
yeah,
one.
I mean, really, it's a
Didn't
little.
you take care of that when you went to use the restroom?
No.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go fast because I'm gonna be there for a while. But
Then
I
step
gave
it
it
up.
a 6 because it was better than the first, but it still wasn't remarkable to me. I guess.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So watch Black Panther.
Yes,
we'll review
we
it
will.
next episode. To
Okay.
all the nerds,
Through all the fuzz.
bottoms
Bottoms
up.
up.
Let's get nerd buzz.
Buzzed.
Better exploded.
Did.
Outro us, Jack. Do it.
Talking about beer, talking about nerd culture.
I gotta pee now.
On
Finally.
Nerdbuzzed. Marcus and Jeremiah. You're on Nerdbuzzed. Let's get Nerdbuzzed.